Hi, I'm Georgia. Welcome to the letter of the week, and today's letter is the letter X.
Play, play, play along. Come on and play along. Play, play, play along. Come on and play along.
So today's letter of the week is the letter X. Now you make an X, you hook this your index finger around, but you're going to hold it straight like this. Now X is a single sound letter, which means it would make the sound of X, X, which is kind of a weird sound, but that's what it's supposed to do. Okay, X. But there aren't that many words that start with the letter X, and usually when X is the first letter of the word, it doesn't sound like X. So this was going to be a really short letter of the week if I used words that only started with the letter X. So I'm going to be showing you a lot of words that have X within them, because X is usually somewhere in the middle or at the end of a word. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So this is the letter X, and it sounds like X. So now here's our first word we're going to be doing, and it uses the hand sign for X in the sign. So this is an X-ray. So to do an X-ray, you're going to make two hands with X, and then you're going to like flash your fingers out. This is X-ray, because when you take an X-ray, they get to see all of your bones inside. Okay, that's kind of a fun one. So this is X-ray. And our next one uses X-ray in it. This is X-ray fish. So fish, you're just going to wiggle your hand out like that. And they named this guy X-ray fish because you can see his bones through his skin. So that's kind of an interesting little fish there. So you're going to make two X hands. So it'll be X-ray, and then we're going to add fish. Now, this word starts with X, but it's not xylophone, it's xylophone. So it makes the sound of Z. And the sign for xylophone is this. A lot of your musical instruments, remember I think we've done guitar, we did violin, but xylophone, pretend like you have two xylophone mallets and you're playing the xylophone. So this would be, if you were doing a piano, it would be this, but this is a xylophone, so you got the little mallets on there. So this is the sign for xylophone. Okay, and this one has two X's in it. It's at the beginning, which sounds like Z, but the last one sounds like X, like the letter X. And this is a Xerox machine. All right, and the sign for Xerox, I like this one. Okay, so you're going to put your hand here, and you're going to your index and your thumb kind of make a C, but you've got your fist here. So you're going to go like that. This is Xerox. So if you're going to make a Xerox copy, you just have a flat hand here. It's like the machine and how it goes. The printer would go like that. So this is a sign for Xerox. So we're going to Xerox the paper and send it off to whomever. Okay? So now, I try to incorporate a food for every letter of the alphabet. So I had to do some research on this one. This is a melon that it's very similar to a watermelon, but this one's grown in Africa. And it's yellow inside instead of our watermelons here that are pinkish red. This one is yellow. And I didn't know how to say it. I didn't know if it was Xigua or Xigua. I didn't know. So we looked it up. And it's pronounced Chichiwa. So it's not a X and it's not a Z, it's a Chichiwa. So there we go. But the sign for melon is you make a fist, because when you go to the store to find a ripe one, you make a fist and you take the melon and you tap it twice. You like to hear if it thunks. So that's our sign for melon. So this is our Chichiwa. Okay, that's this guy. Now, the rest of our words, because it would have been a very, very short story if I just used those words that started with X. So I'm going to use X within the words, where you're going to hear that X sound. Okay? So this is experiment. So you're going to make two E's because it starts with the letter E, and you kind of circle them around. This is a sign for experiment because you're kind of looking, you're going to do something, you're kind of looking for an answer. So think of it like that. This is you're doing in a little experiment, okay? Now, expert, and sometimes when I find a sign, I didn't know the sign for this, I had to look it up. I try to figure out, well, why would that be the sign? Well, think about it. If the sign is you make a flat hand here and you're going to grab it. So an expert grasps the information, right? And then you're going to pull your hand off into a fist. So they have a full understanding. They grasp the information and they have a solid foundation for that. That makes them the expert. And this is a sign for expert. For this word is explain. So you're going to make two F hands. Remember the letter F? Okay. So you make two F hands, but hold them this way, sideways, not up. It's so that they're down. And you kind of flip them back and forth. This is a sign for explain. Because if you're talking or you're trying to, well, explain something, you're giving information, maybe you're getting some information, you're getting some feedback. So think of it like that. You're giving the information, but you're getting questions, and so it goes back and forth like that. This is an example of an exhibit. Now, exhibit would be is the same sign for show. So you're going to make one flat hand here, and you're going to put your pointer finger here, and you're going to go forward. I'm going to exhibit my poster. I'm going to exhibit or I'm going to an exhibit to look at the exhibits on, this one's on dogs, right? So it's the same as show. Pointer finger where you're showing somebody, you're exhibiting it. And exciting, I believe we did this in the E-story, but you're going to take two hands. It's like a happy, a really happy thing, right? You're excited. So you're going to take two hands with your kind of middle finger pointed down a little bit more, and you're going to come up, because happy would be this, right? But excited, you're going to alternate. Wow, this is exciting. Now the sign for exit, make a flat hand, put your pointer between your index and middle finger, and you're going to exit. You're going to go out. So when you leave a building, you have to go out through the exit. Exit. Here's another EX word. This is explore. So we're looking, and your face has to look like you're looking. We're going to explore. So you kind of circle them around, like in front of your eyes, like, ooh, we're gonna go explore Africa and look for wonderful animals. We're going to explore how to do that experiment. Okay, and this is a fun one. Another EX word, hear that X. This is an explosion. Okay? So you make two fists, and then you come out really fast, and your face has to be like, whoa, okay, this is an explosion. All right? When they're building freeways, sometimes through a mountain, they have to create an explosion to get through. You make a tunnel. Expand. Okay, so we're going to start here, and we're going to come out. This is expand. So it starts out small, but we're going to make it a little bigger. Okay, so this is sign for expand. And exhausted is the same sign as tired. You know, so you can take your hands up here by your shoulders, and you're going to rock them down. But again, your face has to look like it's really tired. So this is exhausted. So those are our EX words, but X can also be like in the middle or even at the end of the word. So we've got, this one is flexible. She looks very flexible, right? So you're going to take two these are called flattened O hands, and kind of swirl them around, kind of move them back and forth, because rubber is flexible. You know, we can bend rubber because it's flexible. This word has the X at the end. This is a box. Go one side and the other side. So the sign for box is box. Looks like a box. And relax. This one has the X at the end. So you're going to take your hands here. It's a very calming sign. So you're going to just tap your shoulders or tap your thing. So cross your arms and tap here. So when you're exhausted, maybe you need to just go and relax. And because so many people do this now, the sign for this one, so you put your fist together like because you do it with your thumbs, right? So this is the sign for text. So I'm going to text my friend and see what time dinner is. All right, so this is text. That's a cute one. And I saved this one for the end because you learn all of these words and this will be excellent. All right, so you're just going to bring your hands. The same sign as wonderful or great. You're going to make your 5 hands and go up. This is excellent. So review all these signs, and I'm going to tell you this story, and so stay tuned. Okay, so now here's our story with words that have the letter X in them. Okay, so here we go. Once upon a time, I was taking a science class, and the science teacher wanted each of us to do a science project. We would each have to different ideas and come up with and we would have to do several so that we could become and be able to our project at the big science at the end of the semester. Well, it was very coming up with our ideas. My friend Bob decided he wanted to take and grow. He did, and they were really delicious. Now my friend Valerie, she thought it would be a good idea to take hoses and funnel different chemicals into a container, then heat it. Now that was, and we all headed for she decided not to do that again. Instead, she changed her project to make out of different materials. That was a lot more fun and a lot safer too. Now for my project, I decided I would grow or raise in different environments. Now some of my got really big, so I had my aquarium. The teacher wanted us to, our projects, so that we could hand them out at the science. I sent to all my friends so that they could come. It was an event. At the end of the day, so I went home and we all lived happily ever after. So now here's our story with no picture clues. All right, here we go. Once upon a time, I was taking a science class, and the science teacher wanted each of us to do a project. We were to different ideas and come up with and we would have to do several, because he wanted us to become on our project and be able to, at the big science at the end of the semester. It was all very, as we came up with our ideas. Now my friend Bob decided he would take and grow. He did, and they were really delicious. Now my friend Valerie, she thought it would be a good idea to take hoses and funnel in different chemicals into a container and then heat it. Well, that was we all headed for she decided not to do that again. Instead, she changed her project to make out of different materials. That was a lot more fun and a lot safer too. For my project, I decided I would raise in different environments. Now some of my grew really big, so I had my aquarium. The teacher wanted us each to our findings so that we could hand them out at the science I sent to all my friends so that they could come. It was an event. At the end of the day, so I went home too. And we all lived happily ever after. So that was the letter X. We're almost done because next week is the letter Y. So be sure you subscribe, send us your comments, and share us with your friends.
Play, play, play along. Come on and play along. Play, play, play